Hey, welcome back. This is Watertown 365. We have the latest news about the area. We have information about COVID guidance going into the new school year. And speaking of more COVID guidance, we'll be talking about public meetings and how those will be adjusted in this maybe post-pandemic, mid-pandemic, kind of uncertain time, this summer period here. We're going to be talking about New York State rental assistance. We will be discussing a vaccine clinic if you are a straggler and still need to get your vaccine. We will give a shout out to a remodeled and refurbished ballroom in town. We'll be mentioning a construction company in the area if you are in need of remodeling, renovation, home, kitchen, or bath. And we'll also be mentioning a martial arts studio in the area that you need to know about. Let's jump in. Let's get to it. Let's talk about how school districts are hoping for updated state COVID guidance ahead of the new school year. While the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have given updated mask guidance this week, Governor Andrew Cuomo said school districts should prepare to take aggressive action as virus cases rise across the state and country, and school districts will continue to wait for updated state guidance ahead of the new school year. The CDC recommended Tuesday that some people vaccinated against COVID-19 to resume wearing face masks indoors in areas of high or substantial transmission of COVID-19. All students, staff, and visitors to K-12 schools should wear masks when students resume in-person learning in the fall, regardless of vaccination status, the CDC said, though it's unclear still if New York State will change its mask mandates. Governor Cuomo has said the state is reviewing the CDC's new recommendations closely in consultation with federal and state experts. So it looks like things are a little bit on the way up as far as coronavirus. If you remember that it was around 1% a week or two ago when we were last talking about this, and North Country on its own is at 1.82%, but then as you might know, the New York State, 96% is New York City, and then the remaining 4% of the population is the rest of the state, and so you have that whole big chunk of population, New York City crammed together, so New York State as a whole is at 2.23% as far as that coronavirus positivity rate. And if the district was told that everyone had to wear masks again, but that the distancing restrictions could be loosened up a bit, but a lot of experts think that's doable. If you say, okay, well, sure, we'll do the mask, but then maybe less so on the social distancing. But the problem is, if the distancing has to stay at 3 feet, and in some cases in 6 feet, then the district will have bigger concerns about having all kids be able to return to full person instruction. It's a hairy, dicey situation. Let's stay on top of this, but it looks like in general that COVID is on the rise again, and so masks are back, but then that social distancing, as you can surmise, it makes it difficult to pack all those kids into a classroom, and then what do you do, right? How do you do it with scheduling and teachers? So interesting to know, but we also don't know, so let's keep a watchful eye on how this goes. And it's like just when we got used to being out and about again, right? We went through the whole period of maybe being careful, staying away, and now that we're back, we're like, oh, I just got used to being back. So the COVID-19 pandemic altered public meetings in New York, making government participation for elected officials and members of the public in an era of remote video conferencing and social distancing. But now, as the state's emergency orders for the pandemic fall away, concerns over rising cases and the Delta variant linger. And good government organizations in New York are trying to find a way forward for conducting public meetings with both transparency and safety in mind. And there are a lot of questions, right? Because COVID-19 has changed the conversation about how public bodies should convene and the public level of access. While it's ideal that public bodies meet in person like before, we are sympathetic to the challenges that some officials and members of the public face gathering at a single location while coming from faraway regions. So this is what's been said by this group in a letter to the Committee on Open Government. The groups are led by Reinvent Albany, which is they want the state's main open government office this week to publish guidance. Tell us what to do. Tell us what the guidance are as far as the state legislature meeting and as far as the public coming to these meetings, and what if some of the attendees are pregnant and issues like that. And so there's a little bit of a, just like with the schools, like we mentioned, there's a little bit of a headbutting, a little bit of a back and forth, and a lot of things are up in the air. And, you know, you have people who, they want to apply common sense. They say, well, if we can stay away, if we can remote view, then that could help. But then we're also saying, well, you miss that aspect of being there in person. So this is a question that, again, we need to be keeping an eye on, because there's cases on the rise, but then also people wanting to get back to normal. So kind of deadlocked and a little bit up in the air as well. Let's try to see something that's not quite deadlocked, which is a revamped rental assistant application process. This is reported by Spectrum Local News. Over in Buffalo, the application process for New York's Emergency Rental Assistance Program has been harrowing for many people struggling to make their payments. And so the Senate Housing Committee chair said that the online portal has had numerous issues, including glitches, a complex application, and inability to save and resume at a later time. Even though there is a big challenge here, and many thousands of renters and landlords that are supposed to benefit from this, but it's been really perplexing to a lot of us why we can't get at least some of this money out a lot sooner than today. New York continues to lag behind other states in dispersing funding, with only a small fraction of the roughly $2.7 billion available going out so far. Governor Cuomo on Monday announced money for qualifying applications would be paid to landlords ahead of the August 31st eviction moratorium sunsetting. For people to have to start working through their way through the eviction courts right now would be devastating. And this is what was said by a Housing Justice for All campaign coordinator, CEA Weaver. She says, well, how is this going to work? If you're getting evicted, go through eviction court, you have to go, and then there's COVID there. The Delta variant is coming for all of us. There is still a COVID-19 economic crisis. The state Senate and Assembly both plan to have hearings about the program soon to make sure they're overseeing both the state and local governments that are dispersing the largely federal funds. Next up, the COVID-19 vaccine clinic is set for Tuesday at Case Middle School. The North Country Family Health Center will hold a COVID-19 vaccination clinic Tuesday from 3 to 6 p.m. according to NNY360.com. The health center will be offering both the 2-dose Pfizer vaccine and the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and while appointments are preferred, walk-ins are also welcome. Guests are asked to enter the gymnasium through the entrance labeled 13. Now, this clinic is open to anyone 12 or older receiving a dose of Pfizer, and anyone 18 or older can get either vaccine. There is no out-of-pocket cost for the vaccinations, and if you would like to receive a vaccination, there's a phone number, 315-782-9450, and then there's also this website, according to the Department of Health, and there are not appointments available at the moment. So that is interesting. So if you go to covid19vaccine.health.ny.gov, you should be able, here we go. We had to go from the front page. So and I think if you Google search like New York COVID-19 vaccine, you'll end up on this .gov page. You click on make appointment, and then you can scroll down and figure out what area is near you, when they're open, do they take walk-ins. You click on get started, you fill in the form, and then you can get your appointment right there if you do not find a walk-in appointment that suits your liking. So pretty handy, pretty helpful that they want to help you find your get your vaccine. And as we wind down, let's talk about a couple of local businesses. This is Sackett's HarborBallroom.com, and you go there, and In this day and age, it's easy just to go to the website because you can see the pictures, the inside, the outside, the directions, the address, the phone number, the email address. Just go to the website. Everything is there. And so here's what's happening at Sackett's Harbor Ballroom. They do corporate events. They do holiday parties and social events. And you can check out their packages here on the website. They do elopement. They do micro weddings. They do huge weddings of 75 and over. They do corporate business events. They do wedding receptions less than 75, so I guess that's like a mid-tier, mid-size wedding. They do holiday event family parties and so much more. And if you can check out what people are saying, people say what a perfect venue for a grandson's birthday and graduation party. And they have all kinds of information about the services that they offer, and they have a form here where you can fill everything out. They have a Facebook page at Sackett's Harbor Ballroom where you can see there's a Magic Beyond Imagination event coming soon. So that's pretty interesting, right? This guy with the paper shredder and the glass of wine and a Rubik's Cube, where 3 well-known and crowd-pleasing magicians will present their Magic Beyond Imagination show on July 23rd and 24th. Well, I guess that's come and gone. But that gives you an idea of the kind of events that happen over at Sackett's Harbor Ballroom. Check them out, sackettsharborballroom.com. And another business we want to mention is Glory Construction and Development. They do remodeling, kitchen and bathroom. They do home building. They do general contracting, and you can find them at gloryconstructionny.com. You can talk to Chris. Here's his email address at the top. There's a phone number. And if you are looking for a kitchen remodeler professional who will not break your bank, they are a fully insured and affordable kitchen remodeler. Their crews have years of experience remodeling kitchen spaces from start to finish. When dealing with your precious kitchen space, they understand that time is of the essence. So, run, don't walk. Go to gloryconstructionny.com. You can find all over the website, there's this form, get a free quote on your next project. You click here, you fill in your details, you give them some comments, you tell them what you have going on, see if they can help you out and get your project working the way it needs to, on time, under budget, in a timely fashion, professionally done. gloryconstructionny.com. And last, but definitely not least, BeiringJujitsuNY.com. Now, good luck spelling it. I guess the way to do that is BEHRING, Jiu-Jitsu NY. And they have a new student special, and you can go there. And if you're the kind of person that if you want confidence, if you want discipline, if you just want a fun way to get physically fit, and they even have online courses, then check out BeiringJujitsuNY.com. There's an email address, there's a phone number, and Beiring Jiu-Jitsu strives to create a friendly and safe environment where people of all backgrounds can come together to train, learn, and grow. They attract students who are humble and kind and who show respect for the class, for the art, and for each other. And their main objective is to enrich the lives of many people through the mastery of the art. Let's check out what kind of programs and events. So they have adult jiu-jitsu classes, 13 years old and up. They have kids classes. They have open mat drill time. And as far as the special events they have, this guy looks scary. Flavio Beiring himself, the Grand Master, has a seminar. And Flavio is a red belt who was taught the martial art by both Helio Gracie and João Alberto Barreto. And he also fathered 2 of the sport's biggest stars in the 1980s. And what's happening there is, I'm not sure if that's an old event or if they do that regularly, but that gives you a taste of the amazing, action-packed, crazy cool events they have over at Beiring Jiu-Jitsu NY. So if you're looking to get out of the house, if you're looking for something different, or maybe you're an old martial arts person, maybe as a kid or a teenager or something, and you want to get back into it, you can go to that website, BeiringJujitsuNY.com, click on the new student special, and check this out. You can claim 1 month of Jiu-Jitsu training. That's 35 plus classes for only $75. You go to BeiringJujitsuNY.com, you click on that button we just saw where there's a new student special, you fill in your details, you fill in the form, and we will see you over at some Jiu-Jitsu. Look at that, where he's spinning and slamming him down. Wouldn't you like to be the person slammed down or the person doing the slamming? It's up to you, depending on how good you are or you think you are. Now, as you know, Watertown has so many cool things going on, but a lot of people don't know, right? It's so easy to stay at home, stay on the computer, watch TV. Don't fall for that. You can be 100 years old and watch TV. Go out there and live your life, but also get your vaccine and also stay safe. And you can find out what is going on all around town, all in this North Country area at watertown365.com. And hey, if you are staying indoors, maybe from that summer heat, or just being cautious about COVID and Delta, maybe you can live vicariously and see all these cool things happening all around the area. Check out with this firefighter, and check out with this ball player. And so the place to find out about even scary things like vaccines and more is watertown365.com. And you can connect with us on Facebook right here at facebook.com/watertown365. We can't wait to see you there. See you on Facebook. See you at watertown365.com. We'll catch up with you very soon, and have a nice one. Have a nice summer, even though it's still happening, but hope your summer's off to a great start, and have a nice week of the summer as we continue. watertown365.com, and bye now.